Yep, you've heard the news. Autonomous automobiles are on their way. But what will be the real impact of driverless cars in our lives? We've put together 5 predictions to help you sort it out. But first, let's explain what we mean when we talk about a fully autonomous vehicle. The Society of Automotive Engineers segments the capabilities of self-driving cars into 5 levels ranging from 0 to 5. Something as simple as cruise control will get you to level 1, but something as advanced as Tesla's 2016 version of autopilot will only get you to level 2. The Holy Grail is level 5, meaning the car does all the driving all the time and the passengers are just along for the ride. Tesla claims that all of its new cars have the hardware necessary to be capable of fully autonomous driving and that the software necessary to permit them to do so will be rolled out over time. Google's car driving project, on the other hand, is geared only toward developing level 5 capabilities. Sure, they're still a while away, but level 5 autonomous vehicles will be here before we know it. So what will happen when cars are truly capable of driving themselves? Prediction 1. Car refueling will become autonomous. We'll start with an easy one. What good will it be to summon your car only to have it ask you to meet it at the gas station to put fuel in its tank? Sure, we can man service stations with humans to feed our robotic cars, or we can automate the refueling process too. I'd bet on the latter. Prediction 2. Human drivers will eventually be outlawed. Now we'll get controversial by predicting that human driving will ultimately be outlawed on most roads. A recent survey showed that 75% of people think that a robotic car will never be a better driver than they are. They're wrong. Imagine if you had 8 sets of eyes that allowed you to look in all directions at once and even to see through and under other vehicles. Imagine that you had the ability to instantly analyze all that you see and calculate the best action to take to maximize safety, take the necessary action immediately with the equivalent of superhuman reflexes, and never become tired, distracted, or startled. We humans will never be able to do so, but robot cars can by using multiple cameras, radar, computers, and other advanced technologies. Self-driving cars will result in far fewer accidents. In the US alone, over 37,000 people die in car crashes each year, and an additional 2.35 million are injured or disabled. Car wrecks cost the US about $230 billion per year, which is equal to about $820 per person. Any significant reduction in the number of crashes will have such a large benefit that people will not feel safe with human drivers on the road, and insurance companies will charge them astronomical premiums. Many are projecting that self-driving cars will have 90% fewer accidents. Eventually, legislation will relegate human drivers to isolated human driving zones, where they are less likely to kill other people through reckless and distracted driving and human error. Prediction 3. More than driver jobs will be impacted. Of course, when cars, buses, taxis, trucks, tractors, and maybe even Zambonis can completely drive themselves, the more than 4 million people that now drive them for a living will need to find other work. But other jobs will be impacted as well. Far fewer accidents means far fewer wrecked cars to tow and repair. Low-speed fender benders, which account for most body shop work, will essentially be eliminated. Auto insurance adjusters and others who handle claims will have much less to do. Less accidents means less auto injuries to be treated by doctors and chiropractors. There will also be less work for lawyers who handle traffic violations, DUIs, and personal injury cases. Highway patrol officers will no longer need to look for speeders and unsafe drivers. And even fewer cars themselves should be necessary as car sharing gains as an alternative to car ownership. Prediction 4. Transportation as a service will grow exponentially and reshape car ownership, parking, and traffic flow. For most people, the per-mile cost of utilizing a shared driverless fleet will be drastically lower than personally owning an automobile. For many, that means car ownership will become a thing of the past. Transportation as a service, however, will not itself change where you need to be when. Peak driving times, such as commuter rush hours, will continue unabated unless employers elect to stagger work hours to avoid everyone arriving at once.
Because passengers in autonomous cars will want to be dropped off at the most convenient location instead of driving themselves to a parking spot, drop-off zones at workplaces, airports, theaters, shopping malls, and other locations will need to be redesigned to avoid unmanageable congestion. If you no longer own a car but instead summon one on demand when you need it, you'll be able to use your garage for other purposes like storage or convert it into living space. Or maybe you'll install a charger and lease your garage for self-driving autos to park in when not in use. Public parking garages will become charging stations and staging areas for autonomous cars. And in the future, why will anyone rent a car while they're traveling when they can just summon one instead? Prediction 5. In-car entertainment, connectivity, and data security will be booming industries. When cars are fully autonomous, people will be able to read, work, play games, watch videos, sleep, eat, drink, and immerse in virtual reality and other extracurricular activities. Steering wheels will be hidden or eliminated, and video screens will proliferate. Over-the-air updates to systems and software will be a necessity. Luxury automobiles will be defined in terms of drive, comfort, and interiors, and not in terms of horsepower, acceleration, and other driving performance that will be irrelevant when cars drive themselves. And of course, let's not forget about the importance of cybersecurity and privacy. As cars become connected and automated, they must be protected from hackers. Anything other than full protection against cyber risk could result in the loss of highly personal information, or worse, in disaster. Welcome to the future of self-driving cars.